so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you're joining me from. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my greeting according to your time zone. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I upload a video. You can be among the first to receive it. Then go to the comment section at all times. Leave your comment, drop your contribution. If you have suggestions, make it out there. If you have any criticism, put it down on the comment section. It will make us to get better, presenting you a better program. Thank you so much. Hello, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom. Thank you for joining. If you can be able to join, please kindly share the broadcast on your platform. Share to family and friends. Share to anybody that you can be able to reach out to. That is what we have to do to send out the message across and make sure that we can be able to reach people. Happy weekend to everybody that's going to come across the video in time to come. Those who are going to watch live and those who are going to watch later. I say happy weekend to every one of you. As we have continued to embark on the journey to the promised land, we will continue to do so regardless the attack we are getting. Regardless the obstacles and hindrances, we will continue to march on until we get to the promised land. Wherever you are watching from, I urge you to stand firm and be steadfast. We cannot allow the enemy to continue to manipulate us or direct us or teach us what to do and what not to do. We will continue to stand our ground and speak the truth at all times. Those who think they can be able to bully the Biafrans into submission, you are wasting your time. There's no way you can bully Biafrans into submission because we know what we want and we know what we're pursuing. And we will continue to pursue that which is right until we get it. No matter the blackmail, no matter the propaganda, no matter whatever you throw at us, we are going to take it and we will defeat you. All the strangers that are coming to us from all corners, from all angles, we are going to defeat every one of you. The more you continue to push your propaganda and blackmail and attacks, the more you make Biafrans more united. And I can tell you that Biafrans are more united today than they were yesterday. Many people have seen reason to fight for Biafra now than they have in the past. So many people who were taking our message for granted, today are no longer taking it for granted. So many who never took our broadcast serious, today they are taking it serious. And I bet you, no matter what the enemy does, no matter their propaganda, blackmail, we will continue to march forward until we get to the promised land. And victory definitely will be ours. We woke up and we saw the news that the traditional ruler who made a call and added his voice to the sit-at-home protest that we want to organize in Lagos State have been arrested by the DSS. This is how evil the Zoological Republic is. This is why it is very clear that we will not be part of this very entity called Nigeria. They are trying to show us that we are not part of it, we will never be part of it, and they have no respect for us nor those who are working with us. A traditional ruler, a respected traditional ruler who has come out to air his own opinion and add his voice to the attack and intimidation that is happening against the Biafran people. And he made his word direct and clear. That we are going to have a peaceful protest. We protest in such a way that the Lagos State will know that yes, the people whom they are fighting against, people who they are attacking, has value. That was the only comment the traditional ruler made, and today they arrested the traditional ruler, the DSS and their police and whatever, secret police. They went and took the traditional ruler, a Biafran who has made such statement. This is the double standard we are talking about. And if you think that those double standard and threat can stop us from pursuing our freedom, you are wasting your time. You are only making us to stand firm and stand stronger. You are only giving us more reason to fight more for our freedom. Every one of us was here when a traditional ruler in that same Lagos State made a threat to the whole Biafrans. A traditional ruler made a threat, threatened the whole Biafrans, that they were going to throw us into the lagoon. And when he made that threat, nobody responded. Nobody said anything. People pretended as if nothing is going on. People pretended as if all is well. But I can tell you all is not well. All is not well. When that very comment was made, nobody fought against that man. People pretended as if they didn't see what was happening. And they continued to pretend and pretend and pretend. But at the end of the day, you saw that it was very, very clear that the attack on Biafran people was so evident. And we cannot take it. But after that very pronunciation that was made, there was nothing done against that man who planned to take the life of the Biafran people, who threatened the Biafran people that he was going to throw them to the lagoon. The threat was made. And yet, when that threat was made, there was no response from the federal government. The government pretended as if they did not see what was happening, as if they didn't hear what was happening. They pretended as if it didn't happen. In this same country, we are there when some group of people in that same corporation gave an ultimatum to the Biafran people and told them to vacate the north. Nothing was done. Nobody was arrested. Nothing was done against anybody. Nobody was arrested. In fact, nobody was warned. In this same election, we saw somebody, a tout, came online and was threatening the Igbo Biafrans. Threatening to take lives, threatening to maim people, and warn people not to come out. And that wasn't only threat. After saying that, he carried that out. People were maimed, people were attacked, properties were destroyed, even up to today, still ongoing. Nobody was arrested. None of those people were invited. But today, a Biafran traditional ruler that came out to add his own voice and demand for justice for his own people. The DSS came after him and took him away. And you call yourself a Biafran. You are still there sitting down talking about one Nigeria. You call yourself a Biafran, seeing all this evil that is meant against your brothers, your sisters. You are still sitting there. You are still sitting there talking about one Nigeria. I pity you. You are only waiting for your end. And I bet you your end is going to come. But believe you me, when it's going to come, you might not be able to handle it. You might not be alive to face it. The way it is going to come, you might not be able to handle it. And that is the obvious truth. A truth that is undeniable. How can you justify the arrest of that traditional ruler? How can you justify the arrest of a traditional ruler who is trying to call his people's attention for a protest? To protest the dehumanization, the attack and destruction of properties of the Igbo people in Lagos State. How is that a crime? How is that a crime? But the man was whisked away. And to show you how evil those who claim to be Biafrans, those who claim to be Igbos and whatever, who claim to be elites, who claim to be politically connected and whatever, how evil they are. Every one of them is silent. They are not talking. They have been beaten into fear. They are so scared that even when their own brother is being intimidated, they can't do anything. They are so scared that when there is an attack against their own children, they will not do anything. We are here. Their own children were shot to death because they came out, they were protesting. And they were shot. Even though those of us who are autopiloted, we never supported any protest in Biafra land because we know we are dealing with demons. And we will never encourage anybody to come out and protest in Biafra land, knowing fully well that all it's going to bring is death to our people. The autopiloted group, we have tried as much as possible to limit the casualties in Biafra land. The same thing that Mazen Nanekano was doing while he was with us. Mazen Nanekano, in fact, gave that instruction. But even after that, people came out for peaceful protests. They were not armed, unarmed people. And they opened fire, and a lot of them lost their life. Almost 10 people. Many in the hospital. And I assure you that some will not be accounted for. And nobody cares. Everybody is still going about their various businesses as if nothing happened. How long shall we continue to tolerate this evil in our environment? How long shall we continue to permit this evil in our environment? Every Biafran has to rise up and wake up. Do not allow the Zoological Republic to bully you into acceptance of slavery. Do not allow anybody to bully you into acceptance of slavery. We are all freeborn in Biafra land, and that will remain. No man born of a woman can change our identity. We are whom we are. Chukwu Okike created us and gave us that identity as a freeborn. He gave us a land where we settled, and no man can take away that land for us. No man can take away a right from us. Do not allow anybody to bully you into acceptance of slavery. That is what they are trying to do. That is why they are taking your life. That is why they are destroying your property. That is why they do not want you to speak. That is why they are kidnapping your people. That is why they are shutting down your people who are talking on your own behalf. This is why we say that every Biafran must rise up at once. This individual and sectional speaking is not going to help anybody. Every Biafran have to rise up at once. As this traditional ruler is kidnapped, everybody have to add their voice and begin to speak. When it happened to Okeke and you didn't speak, tomorrow is going to be Okafo. The next one is going to be Okonkwo. And after Okonkwo, it will be Okore. And you that is out there, that it does not come to you does not mean that it will not come to you. That you are free today does not mean you'll be free forever. That is one thing you must put at the back of your heart. Don't think that because you are free today, that you are free. You are not. You are still in captivity. And those people who want to hold you down will do everything humanly possible to hold you down and see that you don't see the light of the day. The earlier you wake up and do the right thing, the better for you. The earlier you wake up and begin to speak up, the better for you. The stage is set. The time is now. The opportunity for us to be free from that contraption called Nigeria is now. Our spokesperson, Master Simon Ekpa, who is presently the spokesperson of Biafra, is doing a marvelous work. Regardless of all the attack that is coming to him, all the distractions, all the hate that is coming to him, he's still standing firm and he's fighting for Biafran people. He's standing very firm, fighting for you and I to see that we gain our freedom. He's not relenting. He's not looking back. With all the attack, propaganda, and blackmail that is coming to him, he is not looking back. He is standing firm where he is, making sure that his voice is being heard. But I tell you, every one of us have a role to play. The more you pretend that it doesn't concern you, the more you expose yourself to danger. It is going to get to your doorstep. If every one of them in Biafra land have been speaking since Mazen Nandekan was shouting and talking, if they had joined Mazen Nandekan, add their own voice and continue to speak and continue to talk, we will not be where we are today. If they had added their own voice and continue to shout and talk on top of their voices, if they had added their own voice to continue to call on the international community on the situation of the Biafran people, if they had added their own voice to demand for the right of their own people, Biafra would have been free long time ago. But all the same, it is better to be late than delayed. Even if they wake up late and wake up now, we can still proceed. But I tell you, a lot of damages have been done. There is no more time to wait. There is no more time to wait. A lot of damages have been done. There is no more time to wait for anybody. Don't wait for any man, don't wait for any woman, don't wait for any sponsor anywhere, don't wait for anybody. Whatever you know you can do today to rescue Biafra, begin to do it. Personally, I'm doing my own part. With all the attack I'm getting online, from the social media, with all the attack I'm getting from Facebook itself, with all the restrictions, I still come online to broadcast. Even if I am broadcasting and nobody is watching me, I will still broadcast, send my message and leave it there. With fine, Chukwu Okikabam himself will spread the news. People will begin to watch it one after the other and the information will go. They can never stop us from preaching this radical message. We will continue to send it out there to sensitize Biafran people and let them know the situation of things. This wisdom and knowledge must get to everybody. The wake-up call must continue. We cannot continue to lay our life down carelessly. We cannot continue to die for unnecessary things. We cannot continue to put our life down for things that doesn't really matter. The time has come when we have to stand up to the challenge. The time has come when we have to sit up and do that which we are supposed to do. And that time is now. No amount of propaganda or blackmail will stop us. No amount of intimidation is going to stop us. No amount of their destruction of our properties will stop us. No amount of arrest will stop us. The more they continue to do what they are doing, the more they are giving us reason to fight more. And I tell you, Biafrans are much more awake today than they were yesterday. And more people will continue to wake up as the day goes by. The attack we are facing today is from different fronts. On all fronts, they are coming against us. They knew that we have had a very good relationship with our Ududua brothers. They saw our alliance with our Ududua brothers, and all hell break loose. Since they got hook of that alliance, since they saw that the alliance is getting stronger, it has never become the same anymore. It is always one attack or the other, from all angles, from all corners. It has always been one propaganda or the other against the children of Chukwu Okikabam. But will that stop us? That is not going to stop us from pursuing what you are pursuing. It is because of that alliance that you saw what is happening in Lagos State. That is why it's happening. The alliance we have with the Udua brother, that is why what is happening in Lagos State is happening today. There's no other reason. Because it is not just about the election. If it were just about the election, election has ended. Why the continuous attack? Why the continuous burning of properties? Why the continuous intimidation? Why the continuous of the dehumanization in Lagos State? And in all of this, the state government is not issuing any statement on it. The state government have not done anything about it. We have not heard that anybody was arrested. We have not heard that anybody was interrogated. But instead, they went ahead to go and arrest an Igbo traditional ruler in Lagos State who spoke up and called for peaceful protests. He was picked up by the DSS. This is the double standard we are talking about. This is the double standard. And how can anybody in this 21st century accept slavery as a mode of life? How can anybody in his right senses accept slavery in 21st century? This is what we are seeing. They organize genocide against the Biafran people again and again. Nobody cares. And the most disturbing one is that when these things happen, their media doesn't speak about it. Except we come online on social media to talk about it, the media will never report about it. And because they do not want this news to fly, that is why they won't go to the extent of caging us in the social media. They go to the extent of bribing us, bribing the social media networks to make sure they cage information that are coming from us. But is that going to stop us? That will never ever stop us. It doesn't matter how they try to cage us. We will continue to pass this information and it will continue to fly. The whole world will continue to hear our voice until the right thing is being done. The freedom of our people is sacrosanct, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. And the time is now. The time is right. I thank you, Kabiama, for what our spokesperson, Master Simon Ekpa, is doing. Today, he is going through a very strong diplomatic mission. So many diplomatic moves have been made by our spokesperson, Master Simon Ekpa. Some of you think it's just only talking online. He's not just talking online. The Biafran struggle is not just online. It is online and offline. So many diplomatic moves have been made. Some that have made secretly, some have been done openly, some we have seen, some we have not yet seen. And we are making allies across the world. We are making allies across the world. Our spokesperson, Master Samuel, have made a tweet on that. That the next ally we are going to unveil, it will shock the world. And in his own word, your enemies cannot be our enemies. And your friends will not be our friends. The same thing that Nelson Mandela says. You do not expect your enemies to be our enemies as Biafrans. I want everybody in the planet Earth to put that in their head. All the people in the Western world who are joining Nigeria to fight against the Biafran people. Every Western country that is colluding with Nigeria to oppress and suppress Biafran people. To make sure that Biafran people remain enslaved in their own land. To those who are supporting Nigeria to make sure that Biafrans are being exploited. I am sending this information to you in case you don't know. Your friends cannot be our friends, and your enemies cannot be our enemies. Just like Mandela said, you cannot dictate to us who becomes our friends or who becomes our enemy. We are going to choose our friends. Because it has become clear, those who are enemies. It is very clear to us, those who doesn't want us to survive. It is very clear to us, those who are sponsoring the genocide against Biafran people. It is not hidden. And because it is not hidden, we are going to take a drastic measure to address the issue. And in the process of addressing